Netflix specials, they're things that's supposed to be captivating. They're things that's supposed to make you watch and your eyes won't wander and gaze and look up at the roof, look down at the floor, look around you, and really be attentive to every single word that is being said on the screen. Like Tom Brady's. That was very, special, I'd say. But I love Matt Rife. I think Matt Rife is amazing. I think he's a good dude. I saw one of his live shows before. It was in New York with the crowd of 15-ish people. Small place. And it was great. But I think doing crowd work on TV and an hour long special is a pretty difficult task for anyone to get positive results with someone sitting on a couch because you don't feel that energy in the room. You don't get that. You don't feel the crowd with you, hence the word crowd work. And this one on Netflix, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Welcome back, y'all, to the DeAndre Way. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the DeAndre Way. We almost at 2K, about 25 away. We on our way. Anyways, we gonna get right into it, y'all. I finished watching the Matt Rife Lucid crowd work special on Netflix. Matt Rife gets up close and personal with an unpredictable Charlotte audience to riff on all things dreams. So, right off the bat, he goes into this tangent and segments and whatnot, just talking to the crowd. And the crowd is very Charlotte. If you've ever been to Charlotte, it's very Charlotte. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think there could have been a better crowd. I think the crowd was stuck on one flavor of topic for the most part, and that's sex and toys and the sex jokes. And look, I love a sex joke more than anybody else. But after the Joe Rogan debacle, I'd say it's just kind of I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I love hearing stories. I come from someone who loves to watch stories being told and it become in my mind and imagination and I could actually see it playing out rather than hearing people's stories about them having dreams about sleeping with someone else and getting cheated on or cheating on someone else. Sure, in the present setting, I'm sure, like, yeah, I'd probably be laughing too. Like, dang, I can't believe she said that. That's the whole thing about crowd work is people just say things off the rip. But from a television standpoint, at home, it just wasn't hitting me like I wanted it to hit. The Specifically speaking on the topics itself. When it comes to crowd work, you don't really pick the topics. You're just going off of what people say. Now you can play off the top whatever they say, and it always be about kind of a similar thing, which Matt did a lot. And he does a good job at what he does. It's not easy to reference things off what someone says rapidly at a rapid fire pace, you know? But I just think that the element of a stand up special is kind of missed with the crowd work. I'm just not a big, I just didn't hit me because, not a lot of, it wasn't really aimed at my demographic per se. But I try to watch things with a non-biased point of view, and I just like variety. I like someone with I like things with versatility. You can show me that you got all six different types of Pokemon in your pocket. You got the fire, you got the water, you got the ghost, you got the psychic, you got everything. But when you only show me about two of them, I'm kind of left like, dang, I wish I could have seen what was left in there or what more could have been. And that's kind of what I felt with this. He did a good job. Like I said, I like Matt Rife. I think he's a great dude. I think what he built in the last 2-3 years is pretty astonishing in its own right. I think his reels on Instagram and YouTube and etc. really hit. Like those are knock him out the park. But I think the long format settings maybe need a little bit more work. I think more controlled And instead of just giving it to the audience, because that's what he's known for nowadays is the crowd work. Like, oh, he's going to play off the crowd and what they do. I think that's awesome. That's kind of like what a host usually does to kind of get the crowd ready for whatever show it is, whatever segment way that's going to lead into the next performer per se when you're at a live audience segment, just to keep them inside in it. And you don't want to be up there by yourself the whole time unless you have that capacity to do so. Now, Joe Rogan was kind of the opposite. He was just up there blabbing, and there wasn't really talking to anybody. Like, a few people chimed in here and there, but it was very opposite ends of the spectrum with what they were doing. And it's funny, right when I said, "Dang, like he hasn't yelled once," until like the near the end, Matt started finally yelling. Which I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm getting Joe Rogan PTSD." But I like the way he plays off it. I think that like I said earlier, the crowd was just not crowding for me. A lot of middle-aged white women with kind of similar things being said. Um, Not really much diversity with the crowd, let alone, like I said, the jokes or a play off of the jokes or whatever. I don't even call them jokes. I don't even know what you would call them. They're not jokes. They're just funny antics, I guess. I would think that, Matt Rife, he has a wide fan section, believe it or not. Like, I know the white girls are his main target audience. That's who's really coming to the shows and really showing out. But he used to be on Wild 'N Out. This dude was on Wild 'N Out. He's done other shows, and a lot of people do know about him and see him all over Instagram. But I know I kind of felt like a grown Taylor Swift concert. All the grown Swifties was there, not the little ones. And they were just enamored by like how he looks, I feel, and just his essence rather than the actual jokes. And they're just going to feed into whatever he says, no matter if it's funny or not. That's kind of the vibe I was getting. Can't blame him for that. Great looking dude, like the veneers helped, my brother. You got the look of looks for the peoples. He's got the jaw. He's got the hair. He's got the head. You got to have a nice head, and he's got all that. I just want Matt to be a little more versatile. I think he's mastered the crowd work section. But even though this didn't really hit like that for me, I'd say in an intimate setting, he's got the crowd work mastered. I haven't seen one of his big shows and whatnot. But I think that this crowd work craze, which a lot of other comedians are doing nowadays, it's going to die down in the next 2-3 years. I feel like it's just overplayed at this point. I've seen it. It's cool. It works if you can make it work. But me, maybe I'm just an old head when it comes to comedy. I like storytelling. That's just what I like. I like to go in depth. I mean, this thing is called Lucid. And if you don't know the definition of lucid, that means like express clearly, easy to understand. Someone thinking clearly again after a period of illness or confusion. It didn't really make sense. He said, I mean, it was about dreams. So I guess they were trying to think clearly after their dreams, I guess, but they weren't ill or confused. They were just asleep. I didn't really understand the lucid title. Maybe I'm missing another definition of lucid. Another synonym is crystal clear, luclient, pellucid, perspicuous. So basically just as clear as possibly can be. It just didn't make sense to me, the lucid part. I don't get it. So maybe I'm missing something. Who knows? But yeah, no, I think it was quality. I'd give this, because there's not really much to go off of because he doesn't tell jokes, so I can't really get in depth about what he joked about besides sex jokes, and mostly it was a lot. It was like 70% like sex, which, like I said, I like a little bit more in depth when it comes to like stand up comedy. Like regular comedy's fucking around jokes, sure, throw them in there. It's always a kicker. But I was expecting that, and that's kind of what I got. And when I'm expecting something, and that's exactly what I get, it's not really gonna hit as good for me per se. That's just me. Other people might like it. That's just me. I just know he has more in the bag, and I want to see more of that bag that he has. I know he does. I know definitely he does. And he's a good dude too. Like, I'm not here to rag on him. I'm not here to say it was bad. I'm not here to say he's not funny and a good comedian. I think he is. But I think if he opens that Pandora's box up and just lets loose and gives his experiences in his everyday life, because he probably has a super interesting life and super interesting things happen, I feel like he'll be twice as big than what he is now. Like, he's popular, most popular with a certain demographic and a certain crowd, but I feel like he could hit major strides. Like, he could be the next Jimmy Fallon. He could be the next Seth Rogen. He could be the next nighttime talk show host if he just explores a little more, I feel. Because he has the look, he has the charisma. But that bag just needs to be opened a little bit more, because I feel like there's a lid on it, and it's like he's giving out the same candy to all the little kids coming trick or treating. But with that being said, I'd give it about I'll give it a 6. It was quality. It was really short, which, it was easy watch, only little less than an hour. But like I said, I just need a little bit more for someone who I went in there expecting something, and that's what I got. But yeah, that's my take on the Matt Rife Lucid, a crowd work special on Netflix that came out recently. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. Did he knock your socks off, or did he keep the socks on? Anyways, y'all, appreciate y'all for joining me for this review. Make sure to comment and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon. Peace and blessings, and have a great rest of